Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Crossover Deep Dive. Today I am delighted to be able to share with you the first round results of our Classical Crossover Star 2025 competition. So this first round was the opportunity for the public to vote and say who they'd like to see move forward as the semifinalist. And it was really great to see the people that were commenting online, the community coming together to support these wonderful artists. I want to say a big thank you, of course, to the artists for putting themselves out there. And just a reminder that each competition is looking for something a little bit different. So even if you don't move forward to the next round, that's not a reflection on your talent. It just means this particular competition, what we were looking for is that mix of the traditional and bringing it together with the new. So we had some great people, and the public chose who their top 5 semifinalists will be. And then of course I have my wild card vote. So we'll just go through each to give a little bit of feedback and then on to the results. We're starting off here with Adriana. And first of all, I just want us to pause and recognize just how vulnerable Adriana is being here. She's singing completely a cappella and in a very high register. And doing that leaves her fully exposed. Adriana has a very sweet voice. She has an impressive range. We also see that bit of innovation. This piece started as an instrumental piece and it's been done then as a choral piece with words set to it. And of course, now Adriana is doing this just solo a cappella. This is very nice. Thank you so much, Adriana, for kicking us off so strongly in our Classical Crossover Star competition. So a little disclaimer here, many of you will recognize familiar faces, and Christina is certainly one of them. She's been in our concerts, and I've interviewed her a couple of times. So this competition has people from all different stages of their career, right from the beginning all the way up to the professional level. Christina is a lovely person, and she has a wonderful coloratura voice. Her comfort zone is really sitting in that upper range. So you hear this purity and trueness to pitch, and she articulates clearly, even in those demanding heights. And that's not easy to do. Queen of Our Hearts is a song that Christina co-wrote, and of course you can see this is professionally filmed. It's beautiful. One small note, I'd have preferred to see a live performance of this piece, but she's a real professional and this is beautifully done. Next up we have Lizzie, Singer of the Lakes. I really enjoyed Lizzie's rendition of Scarborough Fair. She took a beloved folk song and made it her own with her operatic vocals. Lizzie brings an elegant poise to the stage. Her voice has a really nice forward resonance that comes through. And of course, you can see the care that she's taken and put together this video. Lizzie, you did a great job here. Well done. Now we have Eva McDonald. What I love here is that this is clearly a live performance. Habanera, of course, from the opera Carmen, is typically sung by a mezzo-soprano. So it's nice to hear when a different voice type does this and bringing other colors to it. If you listen, you'll hear that Eva has a really lovely shimmer to her high notes. This is a very pretty voice, and of course, being a soprano, she adds a couple extra high notes at the end for some extra flair. I think this is really, really well done. My only note is that even though it's absolutely lovely, it's not really leaning into her crossover potential. This is very much sitting in that older world, that traditional style. But it's a very lovely performance nonetheless. Our next performer is Gabriel Anthony Muhammad, and we weren't able to show this full performance on Channel 10 due to some copyright restrictions, but we wanted to bring it forward now. You can hear a bit of this with the commentary, and of course you can listen to the full version of this performance on our YouTube channel. I think that he has an impressive voice. His rendition of Take My Mother Home, it's stirring, and that voice is resonating so well in the space. Gabriel has a great tone. He's very connected to this piece. This is truly a fantastic voice. Now next up we have Adit Shechtman, and I love the creativity and the thoughtfulness Adit put into this piece. So it's based off of Vivaldi's Winter, and Adit has written original lyrics and a new arrangement for this. So it's an original song. Her voice has some lovely warmth. You can tell she feels the music and she connects with the text. I also think that during the vocals, when she shows off the more operatic part of her voice, it just sounds so lovely. It's beautiful. I also love seeing her lead the band. She's creating, a fully realized performance from the start to finish. Now next up we have Kathleen Monson, and the piece comes in right away. There's no introduction, and I remember just being struck by Kathleen's gorgeous voice. I also appreciate that this is another live performance. You can even hear the traffic in the background as she begins. Now Kathleen is returning from our 2023 competition. She chose Red Rose, and it's a perfect piece to showcase her pure ethereal voice. And it's enhanced by the church's natural reverb. This is a stunning vocal. Well done, Kathleen. And now on our virtual stage, we have Louisa Reyes. And just as a quick note, the competition was opened in December. That's why you see some Christmassy themes. And like with Adriana, I love that she's chosen to go completely minimal. She's showing her courage, performing completely a cappella. I think Louisa has a very pretty voice. She's expressive in the way she performs. I think you can see in her phrasing, just the musicality she has. This is lovely. Wonderful job, Louisa. Now, for Maggie Stone, she submitted 2 pieces, offering our online and Channel 10 audiences slightly different glimpses due to the copyrights. In both, though, what you can hear is a lovely, well-trained voice. She shines in the classical sections of Girl and 14G, and she demonstrates real versatility. Another shout out for, sharing a live performance. This is impressive and well done. And on to Manet. Manet delivers a dramatic and rich performance of the aria Vuelo Sapete. Her voice is very full of emotion, and she has a nice theatrical flair. The one thing I'm going to point out, though, is that this performance is not just leaning into the tradition. This is the tradition. This is an operatic performance, and it's a very good operatic performance, but it's not crossover. Lovely voice, strong presentation. This is nicely done. Up next, we have Marie Claire, and her performance of Freight's song, it really draws the audience in. She has an inviting tone, some smokiness to it, and Marie Claire really beautifully connects her phrases. You can see how deeply she resonates with this piece. I think it was really touching to see her become emotional. And she's letting us as an audience in to share that vulnerable moment. This is a really special performance, and Marie Claire, I want to thank you for your vulnerability and sharing that with us. That was beautiful. On now to Marissa Howard. Marissa has a great voice, immediately caught my ear, and, a lovely bold sound. Her performance also has such confidence to it, and, she's very playful in the way that she's interpreting this. I think Marissa is demonstrating excellent versatility. We see in these 2 pieces that she's doing. It's not just crossover. She's literally doing, here's opera, here's Broadway. I can do them both. This is very impressive, Marissa. Pierro is performing an original song, and he wrote this about his relationship with the piano. He has a polished, super pleasant tone. I think to have a voice like this that is so even, that is so appealing, and then to be able to compose a piece and play it so beautifully, it shows some really serious artistry, and that he's a true triple threat. I really enjoyed this. Excellent work, Pierro. Now, Keon, I think she brings this tremulous quality paired with some dark color. And this performance, of course, is still very much rooted in the classical tradition, but it's delivered with real feeling. I think you see someone singing from the heart, and it's very nicely done. This is lovely. Thank you, Keon. Now we have Tate, and of course she's doing some of the Woman's Life song cycle. She has gorgeous tone, solid range, and a very expressive delivery and impressive performance. I think that although this is still very classical, throughout you see real potential for her to fully step further into crossover territory. I really love to see what she would come up with, if she would lean into that operatic tone and change more of the instrumentation, and maybe just the repertoire would be different, or is she going to surprise us and bring out these new stylistic abilities we didn't know she has. I really hope we get to see Tate do that in the future. But this performance is also very well done. And finally, we have the Spark Sisters, consisting of Melody and Violet. And to me, it kind of feels like classical crossover, it's a mix of Celtic and a touch of Taylor Swift. It's a really accessible sound. They're performing another original song. This is Hidden Away, inspired by a famous melody by Eric Tate, and they're really taking that crossover formula of building on a classical tradition piece and then taking it someplace new and making it fresh and unique. They are, of course, the only duo in this competition, and their voices blend beautifully. They play so well off of each other, and the harmonies are great. Very pretty voices. I think this is fantastic. Excellent work, Spark Sisters. Again, thank you to all the contestants for being part of this. I hope that you will continue to be part of the crossover community we're building to really inspire people who are kind of those disruptors. They don't neatly fit into genres. They may not fit into young artist programs, but we can build a community that's supporting innovation and embracing those kinds of artists. So I know you're all waiting for the big reveal. Before I get to that, I do want to thank our sponsor, TWOMO, for giving the prize money for our contestants. We need more people that will be supporting, whether that's through giving a nice comment to someone in your community that's doing music locally or online going to see a concert. It's really wonderful when we can support the arts. And now, without further ado, our 5 publicly voted semifinalists moving forward are Lizzie, Singer of the Lakes, Adriana Zarzu, Christina Johnston, Kathleen Monson, and Adit Sheckman. So congratulations to all of you. We are so pleased to have you as our semifinalists in this competition. And I also just wanted to do something a little bit new, because the public really came out in support of one artist in particular. So although there's no prize associated with this besides bragging rights, I do want to say, we're going to have a new category called the Public Choice Winner. And in this case, that goes to Adit Sheckman. Her community came out in a very, very big way, which was beautiful to say. So congratulations to you, Adit, for not only a great performance, but also for getting your community involved. Now, as far as the wildcard vote, I had a very difficult task. We were spoiled for talent, and there were several performers that stuck out to me. I think in the end, it came down to Pierro and the Spark Sisters. Both of these artists, they were performing and playing the piano at the same time, and they were performing new original music, which I love to see. It was so evenly matched. It was very hard for me to make a decision. I think both of these artists are fantastic. In the end, I've decided to give my wildcard vote to the Spark Sisters. And the reason for that is that they did exactly what we asked. They took a classical piece that has been much loved and completely updated it. They wrote new lyrics, they turned it into a different song, and that's what we want to see when you see crossover. You're seeing the traditional being carried over and presented in a new way for a new kind of audience. So congratulations, Spark Sisters. You will be joining our other semifinalists and moving on to the judges round. So now that we know our 6 semifinalists, what is next? Our judges now have the chance to deliberate and decide who best exemplifies that spirit of innovation and tradition that we've been talking about. So we're going to invite those semifinalists to submit a new performance if they wish. Otherwise, they'll be judged on the performances that you all loved and got them to this place. And we're very excited to take you on this journey. So until next time, we hope you listen to great music and you will come back and join us for another episode of the Crossover Deep Dive.